Hey, guten Shabbos. Hope you had a great week. I know I've been missing in action this week. Been a little hectic. Been blessed with a lot going on at camp. First, I want to say l'chaim to all of you. I wish you a beautiful Shabbos, a Shabbos of love, a Shabbos of peace. L'chaim baruch atah adonai Eloheinu melech haolam v'yireh pri hagafen. So, this week, I saw in the news on July 4th, there were people that were saying that this year they're not celebrating July 4th. Why are they not celebrating July 4th? Because they're embarrassed with their country. Their country is not deserving of it. If it's because of the Supreme Court ruling on abortion, on gun violence, if it's because of the shooting itself, etc., etc. And I was actually very surprised by this, because although none of us like everything about our country, and our country is not perfect, to turn a blind eye to the beauty, to the celebration, to the love, to the kindness, to the generosity, to the history, to the rich history of this country is a pity. Because you see, when it comes to life, you can't just look at one thing. You have to see the whole picture. You can't just say, if I can't get it all perfect, then I'm not doing anything. No country's perfect. No human being is perfect. You gotta take the blessings, the good things that you could take. And of course we celebrate the greatness of this country. Why do I think of this? This week's Torah portion is Parshas Chukas. In Parshas Chukas, we read about purity, about the red heifer, about going to the mikvah when you become impure. And I want to tell you something that the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, my dear teacher, the Rebbe, that is so ingenious in the way the Rebbe saw this verse. It's a remarkable comment in the tractate of Yuma. The Gemara says like this: Amar Rabbi Akiva, the great sage Rabbi Akiva, the greatest optimist of the Jewish people. When everyone was crying, he was laughing. You saw hope when people saw tragedy. You saw light when people saw darkness. Rabbi Akiva says, Ashreichem Yisrael, praised are you, Israel. Lifnei mi atem mitarim umi mitar eschem. In front of who do you purify yourself, and who purifies you? Avichem shabashamayim, your Father in heaven. And then he continues, and he says, and as it says, ma mikvah mitar eschem, just as the mikvah purifies the impure, Ava Kadosh Baruch Hu mitar eschem, God also purifies you. And the Rebbe asks, what's Rabbi Akiva saying here? Praised are you, Israel? In front of who do you purify? Just as the mikvah purifies the impure, so that's how you get purified. What's the message of Rabbi Akiva? And the Rebbe says something very interesting. You see, there's an interesting law in Judaism. What happens if you become impure? And the laws of purity, there's certain laws that last a day you're impure. Certain laws last 7 days, like if you touch a dead body, the most severe impurity. So what happens if I have two impurities? I'm impure because I touched something that makes me be impure for a day, and I'm also impure because I touched a dead body, and for 7 days I'm going to be impure. So you would think, all right, I'll wait the 7 days and then I'll purify of everything. Says the code of Jewish law, no. After the first day that you could become pure from the lesser impurity, you go to the mikveh and you become pure. But you say, yeah, but I'm anyways going to be impure from something else. Doesn't make a difference. You could become pure from one thing, yet still stay impure in something else. Says the Rebbe, this is the genius that Rabbi Akiva was saying. Rabbi Akiva was saying like this: look at God. You think about the Jewish people. You think about imperfections. You might think that the only way God's going to accept us back is if we take all the mitzvahs. A guy comes over to me, a secular Jew, says, Rabbi, what do you want? You want me to keep Shabbos? You want me to wrap tefillin? You want me to light Shabbos candles? But I'm not going to do everything, so what do you want? Does it make a difference? I'm going to still be impure, the 7-day impurity. Says Rabbi Akiva, this is how the Rebbe saw it in this genius vision. Rabbi Akiva says, no, God takes every purity. If you're going to do one mitzvah, if you're going to do one good deed, if you're going to become a little closer, even if you're still going to remain impure from something else, God still accepts it. And that's the words of Rabbi Akiva. Ashreichem Yisrael, praised are you, Israel. In front of who you become pure, and who purified you? It's God. And therefore, just as the mikveh could purify someone who remains impure, God purifies the Jewish people, even though we remain imperfect, even though we remain with iniquities and imperfections. How? Genius of the Rebbe to see this. And that's the way the Rebbe viewed the world. That's the way the Rebbe viewed another Jew. You know, the Rebbe was the first one who started the movement to reach out and bring closer Jewish people who felt disconnected from their Judaism. And since then, many have followed way. But the Rebbe never saw it as an all or nothing, as many others do. The Rebbe never felt either you become 100% like you should, or you forget about it. The Rebbe said, take a mitzvah at a time, step at a time. He learned from the words of Rabbi Akiva how the Rebbe saw that God could purify you from a lesser thing while you stay impure in a greater thing. And the same thing is true when you think of our country, when you think of everything. We have to learn from God. You have to learn from what the Rebbe taught us. You might be imperfect, but you can still celebrate and purify the great things of our country. You can't only say, oh, if it's not all the way, then it's nothing. No, it doesn't work that way. We live in the greatest country in the world, a country of kindness and love, a country that deserves to be celebrated. Think about what America did for the world with the vaccine, how many we donated, more than anyone in the world. Think about all the things we've done, medicine, technology, and learn from Rabbi Akiva and God to celebrate, even if we can't be perfect. You know, this week, in the tragedy that happened in Highland Park, one of the darkest days, when 6 people were murdered, there was a little boy that was blasted over TV. He was full of blood, and they found him at the place of the shooting on July 4th. And they were trying to find his parents, and they put it on TV. Does anyone know this boy's parents? It turns out that later they found out that both of his parents were killed. And how was he saved? This little boy, Aiden, this 2-year-old boy, he was saved because his father covered him and protected him. His father lost his life. Here you had a boy. His father wasn't Jewish, McCarthy, but his mother's Jewish, and the boy's Jewish. And now he'll be raised by his grandparents, Jewish grandparents, a Yiddish boy, orphaned at the age of 2. And America rallied in the greatest way. Within one day, they raised $2.5 million. They thought they needed $500,000 from all over America. Generous Americans at a time when there might be a recession, when there's challenges, poured out money to help this young boy, to show love to someone who lost so much. Of course, we're sad about things that are imperfect, but it doesn't mean we can't celebrate and purify the things that we could. God bless you. I hope you had a happy 4th of July. I hope you love your country. And I hope the same is with your kids, with your spouse, with your family. That you celebrate the small victories. And you celebrate the things that are good, even if you didn't finish your job yet. Have a Shabbat Shalom. May God bless you. See you next week.